Alright, what's up everyone? I've got a little special video for you guys today. So obviously it goes without saying that we're quite bullish on Quant's Overledger around here, right? We've been talking about them for years now. From the way they're standardizing the industry through ISO TC307 and SATP, to the work they're doing with some of the biggest names in the industry like the BIS and IBM. But today, I want to actually step away from these big names for a second and look more towards utility for end users like us, or even some small and medium enterprises. And we've seen Quant also actually cater towards this market, especially as of recently, with most notably their integrations into some SaaS automation firms like Zapier and Make, which are arguably two of the most prominent ones in their sector at the moment. If you want to learn more about this side of Quant's partnerships, I'll also drop a quick link right above here of a thread I recently wrote about all of that. But today, I wanted to show you guys how you, yes, I'm directly talking to you, can begin utilizing Overledger's APIs and actually start using some of Quant's integrations in your everyday crypto life. So without any further delays, let's get right into it. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is head on over to connect.quant.network/login. This is the main login page into Quant Connect, or in other words, it's your gateway into accessing Overledger. I've already made an account, so I'm just going to log in here real quick. If you don't have an account, be sure to make one so that you can access Overledger. Great, now that we're in, and hopefully you guys are all seeing the same screen, we're just going to head on over to the My Applications page in the top left side, just right over here. And once we're on the Applications page, we're going to want to hit the plus sign right here in the top right side. And now we're going to have to give our application a name. So the name really doesn't matter. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to name it Tokenicer chain. And so we are going to be staying with testnet, as you'll need a paid membership to access mainnet features, which I do not have. And so the next step before clicking next again is to click enable testnet signing. Then we hit continue. And so now you're going to get to choose your testnet. And I'm just going to go ahead and click Avalanche Fuji testnet. It really doesn't matter which one you choose, but for the sake of this video, let's go with Avalanche. And so now that our application is registered, here we can see client IDs, client secrets, and more. And as the name may suggest, this should technically be secretive. So if you are doing this, make sure you're not showing your client ID and client secrets and keys. I'm just kind of doing this for the sake of a demo. All right, but now that you have this window up, don't quite close it yet, because now comes the next step and we're going to be needing this window. So now that the Overledger and Quant Connect side of things are all set up, we're going to open up a new tab and head on over to Zapier. And once again, you're just going to want to create an account, though I do believe they allow for just connecting your Gmail to access Zapier. And so once you're logged in, you should have a page kind of like this. You're just going to go on over to the left side once again and hit the create button. And you're going to want to be creating a Zap, which is just an automation. So now that we're here, the first step is to create a trigger, as we can see here. So let's click trigger. And then now we're here, we're just going to simply search Overledger. And then from here, we choose from this list down below, just right here. And we select the first one being new account event. Hit continue. Next, you're going to need to choose your Overledger account. And so this is why we left that Overledger tab open earlier. And so we're just going to hit choose. And so I've got a couple other accounts I've linked right here, but for the sake of setting up a new one, we're going to be creating a new account. All right, and so now that we're on this page, we're actually going to go back to the Overledger page. We're going to copy the client ID, paste it here, and then also copy the client secret and paste it right there. And now we're going to continue to Overledger. And so once we've input all of that, we're just going to hit continue once again. And now, as you can see, there's some configurations for the triggers you need to set up. So first off is the Overledger instance. We're going to be choosing Sandbox for this, as it is a testnet. Next is technology, which is preset on Ethereum, so you don't really have to touch that. Next is network, which you just want to pick the specific network you used when creating the Overledger application. So in my case, this would of course be Avalanche Fuji Testnet. And finally is account ID. The account ID simply just means your MetaMask account. So I'm just gonna quickly copy and paste my address right there and continue. Hit test trigger to make sure that things are operating smoothly on the back end. And here we can see some sample data. And now we're gonna go continue with the selected record. And now our next step is actually gonna be executing on actions with this trigger we've set up now. So let's begin setting up an action. To set up the action, we've actually got a ton of options here. So as we can see, these options can range from Microsoft Excel, Google Contacts, Google Drive, Google Sheets, LinkedIn, Facebook, and many others that you could search for. But for the purpose of simplicity, we're just gonna go with a simple email for this demo. So just search for email by Zapier. So this one, give it a little click. And so this option will let you send an automated email without linking a second email address to your account every time there's an action with the specific wallet address that you've linked. So once you've given that a click, you're going to want to select send outbound email, as that's the only option here, and hit continue. Next, you want to fill some parts of the action in. So first off, you're going to want to put in the destination email address. So pretty much just punch in the specific email that you want the message relayed to. And then for the subject line, once again, you can really fill this in with whatever you want. So I'll just be naming this new transaction alert and as you can see down here below, there are specific data types that you can just automatically plug in. So for example, I'm just going to use account ID here. So every time I'm going to get an email alert with the subject line that says new transaction alert for the specific wallet I'm using. Next is the actual body of the email itself. So once again, you can really type whatever you want in here. I'm just going to add, we've found a new transaction regarding, so I'm going to select the account ID because it's regarding this wallet, right? And then period, don't believe us, verify it on chain yourself. And so to actually get a working link to the transaction ID, we're going to simply just head over to Avalanche's Fuji Block Explorer. And so once you're on here, you're just going to want to find any transaction you want. So just click this one, and you're simply going to go up to the URL, and you're going to copy all of this minus the actual transaction ID itself, as we're going to be sending a unique transaction ID, right? So let's come back to Zapier. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is just directly paste the part of the URL that you had copied on AVAX testnet. Now, something you're going to want to do is at the moment, there are a lot of transactions going on Avalanche's Pulsar subnet, so we're not going to be using Pulsar, so we're actually going to have to delete the Pulsar and just enter C. Next, right after the URL itself, you're going to want to paste the specific transaction ID data input, so just like that. And so now you're done the body of the email. So once you have that pasted down and set up and everything, we're just going to scroll down, hit continue, and we're going to hit test step to make sure we actually get the email. And here we can see we actually did in fact get the email, and it's exactly how we set it up, right? So it says, we found a new transaction regarding my wallet address. Don't believe us, verified it on chain yourself. Now, because I didn't actually send a transaction yet, and this is simply a test, this transaction ID won't lead to anything. All right, and so once we've ensured we've gotten these Zapier emails, as you guys can see, I got 3 of these as I messed up a few times in between the tutorial and ended up taking a little break. But we can see that Zapier Overledger, which is what I titled the sender of these automated emails, does indeed send exactly what we need it to, right? And so let's head back to the main tab of Zapier. So once this is all set up and it's all checkmarked and published, now it's time to actually see how this works in action. So the first thing we're going to want to do is open up our MetaMask account. And so I have my MetaMask right here. Next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're on the proper network. So if you use Polygon Mumbai testnet, you're going to want to use Polygon Mumbai. But I use Avalanche Fuji, so I'm going to select Avalanche Fuji testnet. And now we're going to send some AVAX tokens, which I got from Avalanche's testnet faucet. And just for the simplicity of this video, I'm just going to be sending this to another wallet that's connected to my MetaMask. So I'm going to be sending from account 2 to account 3. And let's just say we're going to send 0.2 AVAX tokens. So let's hit next and confirm. And we're just going to wait real quick for this transfer to settle. And as we can see, the transaction is confirmed as seen here. And I do only have 1.77 AVAX now. So let's go look to wallet 3 and see how it looks on that end. As we can see here, it's received 0.2 AVAX tokens. The other 0.018 AVAX tokens were just me playing around with the automation, so don't mind that. But what's important is we got 0.2 AVAX here. And now for the most important step, let's make sure that the email automation we set up just now actually successfully went through. Here we see a new email that was sent just 0 minutes ago, right? And let's see what it says. We found a new transaction regarding my wallet address. And then it says verify yourself on chain, or verify it on chain yourself. And so this time when we click on the block explorer, since this was a real transaction, hopefully we actually get a real transaction. And look at that. We can actually confirm that this transaction here is indeed the same one that we sent. As we can see, 0.2 AVAX tokens from, well, this wallet to this one, which was account 2 to account 3. So we can confirm that this Zapier automation actually does work. And now on the other hand, let's say you actually get deposited some AVAX tokens. So now we're going to send from account 3 back to account 2. So let's send 0.2. All right, let's send 0.209. So once again, we're going to confirm. Just wait for the transaction to settle once again. And let's go to wallet 2 now. As we can see, we got the AVAX tokens we sent back. And once again, we can check our email here, and you guys see another email from Zapier Overledger, once again from 0 minutes ago. And it says pretty much the same thing, right? And once again, we can verify this one on chain. 0.209 AVAX tokens, that's exactly what we sent from wallet 3 to wallet 2. So this Zapier Zap does indeed work, and now you can get automated emails for every transaction that goes into your wallet, which is a lot more useful than you'd think in regards to having wallet addresses operate in a way similar to how our traditional banking accounts work. Though, of course, since I'm just on the free version, this is just on testnet. All right, but let's say maybe you don't want these transactions going to your email for whatever reason, and instead maybe you want them going to your phone number through a text message. Well, you can actually do that too with Zapier. So you're going to set it up the exact same way as we did initially. So I already have the Overledger part set up, but I'll quickly run through these steps. But if you guys want a more detailed reminder of how to do this, just go back to the start of the video. But essentially we'll click Overledger in the triggers function, which we already have. And then in the events section, we're going to click new account event. So that pretty much means it'll trigger the event when a transaction has been sent to or from this wallet address. I'm going to hit continue and then continue again. So I've got all this set up already. So we're going to click sandbox and technology, Ethereum, that one's a preset, so you don't even have to choose it. And once again, I am using Avalanche Fuji testnet. And then I've also imported my wallet address right here. So next, we're going to hit continue. It's going to give you all the sample data. Just continue with the selected record. And now we choose the action. Once again, we're trying to get this message to our phone, right? So we're going to go SMS by Zapier. And once again, we're going to choose an event. So there's only one option here, send SMS, continue. And so here you can change your phone number and choose whatever number you want to add. I've already added mine, so I'm just going to leave that right there. Continue again. And here you can choose what number to receive it from. So it really doesn't matter what number you choose. Some of these will be from specific area codes that just might not work with your respective address. I've had this happen a couple times, but so I'm just going to choose this one this time and just hope for the best. And here is the message part. So this is like the actual body of the text itself, right? Now, one thing I will point out with doing messages is that you are quite limited. As you can see here, you can't do messages exceeding 153 letters. And of course, when we're using transaction IDs and everything, 153 words really isn't that much. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. So we're just going to say new transaction in wallet 2. And then once again, we're going to go, let's add a period real quick. So once again, we're going to go back to the block explorer. We're just going to copy the URL right here for the Polygon block explorer. So once that's copied, we can go back. We're going to paste it once again, just like that. And then we're going to find the transaction ID data right here. So give that a little click. And let's just hope that this is within the 153 word limit, even with the transaction ID. So next, we're going to test the step. And so you're going to want to make sure you have your phone beside you and that you do get this test notification. So I actually did get it on my phone. Obviously, you guys aren't able to see it, but for the actual test, I will be putting a little slide of my phone screen so you guys can see what's going on that end. But since I did, in fact, get the text, I will be publishing this. So publish. So now that this is all set up, we're going to watch this in action once again. And to do so, we're simply going to head on over to MetaMask once again. Going to go back to wallet 2. And so let's just do what we did before. So we're going to hit the send button. And we're going to send back to wallet 3. This time, maybe we'll send 0.25 AVAX. We're feeling pretty generous. So let's hit next. And let's hit the confirm button. And we're just going to wait for this transaction to settle as usual. And hopefully, right as it settles, oh, it settled. Let's see if we get the message on our phone. Ah, there it is. So as we can see, we got the new transaction alert in wallet 2. And then right below is the testnet block explorer. So if we click on this, we in fact do see the transaction details, right? Says the timestamp was a few seconds ago, which seems correct. And these two wallet addresses also look correct to me. And then if we go down, it says 0.25 AVAX, which is exactly what we sent, right? So as we can see, we've now also set up a Zapier automation from Overledger onto our phones in simply a couple clicks. So yeah, there's two ways that you guys can begin utilizing Overledger's API integrations today. Obviously, these are testnet applications, so there's really not all too much you can do on there right now unless you guys buy the actual license. But this does showcase a lot of potential for things in the world of, say, banking or supply chains, for just automating different tasks after receiving an on-chain update, right? Well, there you guys have it. That's how you can begin using Overledger yourself. Now, as I mentioned, I was obviously using the testnet versions through the trial package that Quant provides. If you were to actually buy a license, you could do this with the mainnets and actually get these benefits for your everyday crypto activities. But to see Overledger in action after all the things we've heard about them over the years, it really just hits different. In fact, it seems that this tutorial was pretty well received, as even Quant CEO and founder Gilbert Verdian commented on it. And I can't lie, it was pretty surreal waking up to see that. And while these use cases may seem small scaled, keep in mind that I simply showed you guys the most basic ways to implement these apps. I'm sure that in more sophisticated environments like banking, asset management, and supply chains, there's going to be much more integrations they use, like say with Google Sheets, Salesforce, other ERP systems, Excel, and much more. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial and got something valuable out of it. And until next time, guys, as always, be sure to stay safe and keep learning. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.